Alright, so we're starting off this top 10 countdown with a mission from the latest Call of Duty. Now, in recent times, the newer Call of Duty games such as this one and Black Ops 2, which doesn't even appear once on this list, they've posed next to no threat on veteran difficulty. Sin City, however, is one mission that for some reason gave me a considerable amount of trouble. This one section before all of the slot machines you have to destroy for an achievement or trophy. You need to run down the stairs, clear out the full chamber and two smaller chambers on each side, all whilst being shot at from above, below, from the left, right, pretty much every direction, and there are very few pieces of cover that shield you from all the enemies. It's all trial and error, so for being a little bit of a frustrating surprise in the middle of a game that wasn't very hard at all, this mission takes the number 10 spot. Now, I know what most of you are thinking, dude, what the fuck, this should be number 1 or 2. Well, in all honesty, I didn't find Mile High Club all that difficult. The time limit of 60 seconds means you can learn the ins and outs of the mission through enough trial and error. And other than that, it's a little bit of luck, patience, timekeeping, skill, and most importantly, flashbang placement. You get that right and pretty much everything else should flow for you. I still have a guide for this mission on my channel which I highly recommend checking out if this mission still haunts your dreams. For this mission you have to fight your way through many enemies hidden in crevices inside a trench, which is a very long and tedious trench might I add, whilst blowing up guns every so often. A lot of patience is required to clear the areas before planting the bomb while still evading enemy bullets and grenades. The terrain often severely blocks your view of enemy soldiers, making progressing through the level to feel like a serious grind. Executive Order from the first Black Ops game is quite similar to No Fighting in the War Room from Call of Duty 4. It's the home stretch of this mission that gives it its spot on this list. Tight corners, closed in corridors, lots of things for enemies to hide behind, and many nooks and crannies for random grenades to slip into and catch you off guard. Pushing forward in this mission is extremely challenging and time consuming, as enemies seem to endlessly pour around the corners and respawn just as fast as you're picking them off. Good use of grenades, flashbangs, weapon switching and sprinting is all required here. The checkpoints are reasonably far apart as well, so just try and take it easy instead of rushing straight through. It's no secret that World at War was extremely difficult on Veteran. I'd even go as far as saying it's the most difficult game on Veteran, and this is the first mission that in my opinion showed players that this game was not one to be fucked with. This mission was hell from start to finish, as it had a little bit of everything that made World at War a difficult game. Tall grass, terrible weather conditions restricting your view, disguised enemies, armoured bunkers, and then later in the mission tight corners, dark rooms, fast running melee enemies and grenade spams. A taste of things to come, it seems. In at number 5 is the Tiger from Call of Duty 2. Poor weather conditions and poor lighting both outside and inside the many buildings you have to trek through in this mission make it very tough from the get-go. Many of the enemies on this map stay hidden in the shadows inside buildings to catch you off guard, especially when ascending staircases. You'll find yourself dying a lot on this mission, and there's not a lot you can do to avoid that, because if you leave any enemies upstairs in buildings they will often follow you and kill you from behind. Have fun. This is, in my opinion, the most fast-paced and skill-based mission in the entire game. There's not really much you can do to prevent dying in this mission rather than trial and error. Try running behind different bushes, buildings, just hide behind whatever and keep pushing forward, but move quickly so you don't get swamped. This is one of the very few missions that I would suggest sprinting through on Veteran to complete. Later in the mission you have to defend a children's playground, and this is arguably one of the hardest sections in any Call of Duty game. There are multiple spots that are decent for you to camp at. Again, it's just trial and error. Make sure you make good use of Captain McMillan, as he can cover you with his sniper. Not like it helps against wave after wave of 40 or so enemies.
Target neutralized.
If you hit the tight corner missions on Veteran, then I'm sure you'll agree with this mission being high up on this list. You don't have to worry about too much with this mission. Just overloaded corridors, excessive enemies, grenade spamming, poor lighting, lots of clutter for enemies to use as cover, and oh yeah, You only have 9 minutes to complete the mission, 2 minutes less than on hardened, and since there are multiple routes for you to take to the final room, checkpoints are extremely poorly placed and sometimes don't even activate. This mission is a sprint that feels like a marathon. Although this is quite a short mission, it really fucks many players over. At first it starts off easy before taking a very fast turn, leaving you on your knees begging for the next checkpoint. To make this mission slightly easier, you first have to make it harder for yourself. If you manage to destroy the first 2 guns for the checkpoint by manually planting the bomb on them, which is extremely difficult due to the constant respawning enemies, pinpoint headshot accuracy and grenade spamming, then you will have a few RPGs left over for the remaining turrets. But it doesn't stop there. Once you have destroyed the turrets, you must complete the level using one last checkpoint. And this checkpoint has to last you through a small area of buildings which all have enemies hidden in and around them, making both going through the buildings and around buildings a mundane task. You must then work your way up the stone staircase. I'll spare the details, but it isn't easy. However, once you get to the top of the staircase, if you stood in the wrong spot, the pillar will collapse and fall on you, automatically killing you and sending you back to the last checkpoint. I won't lie, this once caused me to switch off my PS3 and not play this game for over 2 months. And so once again we've reached the number 1 spot on one of my top 10 countdowns. I could have said every single mission from Call of Duty Classic could take the top spot, but in the end I had to choose this one. This Satan's Hellspawn of a mission is, in my opinion, next to impossible on Veteran. There is difficult but doable, and then there's straight up game over. This is one mission that has held many players at bay for weeks, even months. This takes measures beyond skill, beyond luck, and beyond sanity to complete. Unlike later Call of Duty games, your health doesn't automatically regenerate, so if you get shot more than 3 or 4 times before finding a health kit, you're done for. There's nothing more I can say to injustice this mission other than to try it for yourself, if you dare. Oh yeah, and by the way, don't forget to invest in controller insurance, because you're gonna need it. There's not really much you can do to prevent dying in this mission rather than trial and error. Try running behind different bushes, buildings, just hide behind whatever and keep pushing forward. Pushing forward. Let me try this again.